Right, so in today's video, what we are going to be doing is we're going to be redeveloping this space. Now, if you have been on this channel for a while, you'll know that when we first started this garden renovation around about 2.5 years ago, 3 years ago now, one of the things that we did do was put these box hedges in place. And the idea was supposed to be that after around about 2 or 3 years, they'd get quite big, they'd all start to merge together. And yeah, we'd have this lovely hedge at the front that would be a little bit higher than what it is now, a little bit wider than what it is now. But to say it's in a state would be a little bit of an understatement. I mean, this side, granted, some of them look okay. He doesn't. These defo don't. He doesn't. He doesn't. And I mean, come on, look at this fella here. He's absolutely popped his clogs. And this side just looks absolutely horrendous. It's just completely unsightly. I did try to revive these box hedges around about 2 months ago, and you know, this one here is looking really lush, really nice, so much new growth on there. You can see, you know, sort of from those lighter leaves, but the rest just really seem to be panicking, and I had the feeling that this might be the case. So today, like I said, we're redeveloping this side of the retaining wall. We're going to be taking out all these box hedges, getting rid and replacing them with some different shrubs. So these are the shrubs we've opted to go for in the bed up at the top on the retaining wall. So we've got some laurels over here and some of these cool cats as well. Griselinia, I'm 100% sure how to say it. All I do know is both of these are evergreen, so they're going to keep the leaves all year round. They're a little bit taller, they go a little bit wider, and they're quite leafy as well, which is something that we definitely wanted, just to give the garden a little bit more of a, you know, a different dimension in a way. You can sort of see this space over here, the aim that we were going with originally, and which is what I'm hoping the laurels and the other ones are going to do as well, is for this bed over here to almost act as a bit of a border between the lawn at the bottom and the patio up at the top. Again, just to sort of enclose the space a little bit more, make it feel a little bit more cozy in a sense, because the garden's only small. So that's what we're going to be putting in this space. So first port of call will be to rip out the old box hedges. So yeah, let's crack on, let's get them out, and let's sort the soil out too. And just ignore the pink Temu Crocs, by the way. Didn't realise they were in shop before, but I just thought I'd address it in case anyone thought they were mine. But absolutely not. It's quite frustrating with gardening when things don't kind of go the way you'd expect them to. Like I said, the actual, Jesus tonight, it's, whoa, root system, unbelievable, look at that. I mean, you know, the plant's dead anyway. I think what these had was something called box blight, which is like a disease that infects box hedges. So yeah, I think that's part of the reason they're actually dying off. I mean, this fella, look at him, he's just loving life, nothing wrong with him. Sadly though, he is going to be going as well. Maybe we could just chuck him in a pot and see if he survives in there. Jesus, these are proper like wedged in. But yeah, like I was saying, it's with gardening, sometimes you have this idea of what your garden's going to look like, or what it's going to be like once you put things in place. Not everything takes, and the best way to learn is just by giving it a go. I'd never know about box blight if I didn't have box hedges, so it gives you that indication as to what works, what doesn't, and over the years, you know, you'll figure out what's best for your space. Often the best way is just to buy something, see if it works. If it does, boss, do it again, or do more of it. And if it doesn't, then you just don't do it again. You use it as a bit of a learning experience. This channel is called Novice Gardener for a reason. Oh, geez Louise. And, you know, the main reason is I'm very new to all this. I mean, I've been doing it now for a few years, and as you can see behind me, the grass is looking amazing. That's something I've learned how to control over the years, but plants have never been my area of expertise. However, you know, I've got a little bit of knowledge now, a little bit, and I'll share that on this channel as I gain more. But yeah, if you're in a new build or new house, or you just, you know, you got your first home or something like that, and you're looking to do the garden, hopefully some of these videos hopefully gives you a bit of an idea of what works for me, and hopefully what things might actually work for you as well. And I guess lesson number one should really be, if you don't want to pull your back out, pulling out dead plants, get yourself a garden fork and wedge them up that way. Right, so there we go. The soil has been turned. All I was doing there was just loosening it up as much as possible, incorporating enough sort of oxygen down into that soil profile so it's a little bit more loose when we get on with, or when we get in, should I say, with the new shrubs. Now you might be able to tell that quite a lot of this soil is quite clay heavy, which obviously isn't ideal, and you know, realistically you'd want to kind of get a lot of this clay out and put some really good topsoil in, and put some really good compost down in there, as well as a really good growing medium. However, once those plants get established, the root systems are going to break up that soil. You'll have seen then when I was actually pulling a lot of the box hedges out, the root systems were that vast, it was ripping up a lot of the clay with it. And you can see that the clay obviously around it become much more crumbly because, like I said, the root system is breaking up that soil. And we've got a lot of compost we're going to be incorporating into this space to add some nutrients. We're going to be giving it a feed as well. So for the most part, the space, you know, isn't perfect, but it's decent for the plants that we're going to be putting in. So you can see we've decided to alternate the different types of shrub. I mean, if you're doing this yourself, you could just go with maybe all laurels or another type of evergreen shrub. So you've got that consistency all the way along. But we just like the idea of having, even though, you know, it's all green, having a slight variety in terms of the type of plant. Not much, there's not really much of a difference between them, but it's just that slight difference that we think might give the, you know, the space a little bit more character, quite possibly. So yeah, let's get them into place. We'll get some compost, incorporate that into the soil as we're planting these shrubs. I'm going to stake all of these as well because they are quite exposed, which means, you know, the elements are going to get to them a little bit. So the stake's just giving that a little bit more support. Right, so there we go, the project is complete. You can see, got all the shrubs in place now. And one of the next things I'm going to do to these, or should I say sort of the next steps as to what's going to be happening with them, is, like I said before, letting the roots develop before I take the stakes out. I'm also going to come on in a few weeks' time, I'm going to prune each of these plants just to make sure that they're roughly the same sort of height. I don't want any sort of leaves protruding this sort of space, and that's something I'm going to have to do to these plants on an ongoing basis. I'm going to have to make sure that I get on and prune these frequently just to make sure they don't become far too big, because these can grow anywhere from, like, you know, 2 to 3 meters tall, but I want to make sure they don't go any higher really than a meter, and making sure they don't come too wide at the side. And over time I'm going to thicken out, cover this space and make it a little bit more private and cozy up at the top on that patio area there. So thanks for watching today's video. If you enjoyed it, feel free to give it a like, and if you'd like to follow along with any more of these sorts of videos, like putting plants in place, doing any lawn care stuff, or if you want to see any of this lawn renovation. This space used to be just a bit of grass that went from the bottom of the patio up to the top, and everything has been documented on this channel, from the flower bed to the actual retaining wall to the patio to the lawns, absolutely everything. So head over to my channel, check out those videos. I've got an Instagram, the link is in the description below. I show pictures on there of projects I'm working on before I publish the videos. So yeah, check all that stuff out, feel free to subscribe, and finally, thanks for watching.